This is section 9, part 5, letter H. There are 3 proof or evidence pieces for the letter H. And letter H has 3 signs to come in fulfillment for 3 different dreams. The first dream comes from part 1, section 2, letter H, and its call name is S23HD. In the month of October 8th, 2007, I dreamt that I was at Ashton Street, my old home, and I was on a terrace, and I seen Army helicopters. I believe they were Army helicopters, and they were flying towards me. Like I said, I was on a terrace. It was a daytime, and it was probably like around maybe 11 or 10 or 11 of them, and it was very big and it was very wide. Here's the first proof of evidence for section 9, letter H, and the first sign for S23HD coming fulfillment, which was presented to me in the month of September 6, 2010, I believe, when I was here at Halsey Street, and it's like around 12:20 p.m. and it was very sunny, and I had to go outside. I obtained my empty garbage pail, so I walked down the stoop, and I exited the gate, and I put one of my hands on one of the empty garbage pail, and then I heard some rumbling sounds coming from the west of me. So I looked, and I noticed about 3 or 4 green, humongous Army helicopters coming from the western direction, and the last helicopter I seen, underneath his belly said U.S. Army. These helicopters flown, I would say, maybe 100 feet above the roof of my house here at Halsey Street. But Halsey Street that I live in has 3 stories, so the helicopter flown very, very, very low. The second dream comes from part 2, section 2, and its call name is S21MED. In the month of February 19, 2003, I dreamt that I came out of a building. I believe this building that I came out of was somewhere situated in downtown Brooklyn. And it was daytime, and as soon as I planted my feet on the pavement, I noticed meteors coming down from the sky. And also in this dream, I noticed that I had a head full of hair. Anyhow, let me just show you the drawing of the dream that I had. And in this dream, it showed meteors coming out, and with me with a head full of hair. Alright. Here's the second proof of evidence for section 9, letter H, and the first sign for S21MED coming fulfillment, which was presented to me in the month of October 18th, 2010, when I attempted to use Wall's barber cut, barber help to cut your hair without going to a barber shop. Anyhow, up to that point, I was wearing a very, very low Caesar haircut, and I've been wearing a low Caesar haircut for years. And so my Wall's barber cut kit, the thing that actually does the cutting, the item fell out my hand and it fell on the floor, and I picked up the Wall's barber kit cutter, and the blade fell out, and I attempted to put the blade back in, but the blade would not come back in, and so subsequently I could not use the barber kit anymore. And after this incident, I decided to let my hair grow, and as you see, I have a head full of hair. Just before I leave this conversation about this particular dream, I want to once again show this drawing of me with a head full of hair, and I want to show, I'm not being vain, but I just want to show from this profile the head of hair that I have now currently here March 19, 2011. So this is the drawing of me with the hair, and this is me with a head full of hair, and here's a broken barber cut item here. So since now I'm wearing a head full of hair, and I would have to interpret that this particular dream with the meteor coming out of the sky, and me walking out of a building somewhere downtown Brooklyn will happen, I believe, very quickly. And the third dream comes from part 5, section 10, letter 8, and its call name is S101HELD. In the month of July 5th, 2010, I dreamt that I was at Asher Street, my old residence, and I was on the 3rd floor, and I was looking out my brother's bedroom window, and I seen a fleet of helicopters. They were gray in their appearance, and I have the drawing of what I dreamt. And there's the helicopters that I seen at Asher Street when I looked out my brother's back room window, and these helicopters were flying towards John F. K. Airport, and I sensed something big just happened or took place in this dream, and this dream kind of startled me. Okay, here is the third and last proof of evidence for section 9, letter H, and the first sign for S101HELD coming fulfillment, which was presented to me in the month of November 7th, 2010, when I stood on top of my roof here on Halsey Street. It was about 7 a.m. in the morning, and I was on the roof to watch the sun. I was gathering data about the sun so that I could use the data about the sun for how things can come to pass pertaining to dreams that I had about the sun. Well, anyhow, I was looking in the east. That's where the sun was rising, and then I heard helicopters. So I automatically turned my head from the east to the west, and I'm seeing 2 helicopters. They appeared to me they was flying or following each other. They was flying like in a straight line formation, and they were coming from the south, and they was going towards the north, and they was flying over like Stuyvesant, very low. They were not news helicopters. They were not NYPD. They looked to me to be, special ops or commercial helicopters. But this is what I drawn, what they looked like. So they were very thin as well. I mean, they were thin, and they looked like this, and they were both of them together. They've both flown towards the north, and I have never seen helicopters follow each other like that, and so that incident of me on the roof at 7 a.m. Taking notice of 2 helicopters. They was flying very close, like as if one was a lead and the other one was a follower, and so brought my attention to the dream that I had, which I showed you the drawing of gray helicopters. So I really believe a lot of things are going to happen that involve helicopters and, things in the sky, airplanes, I mean, the whole 9 yards. Well, the next letter in Parrish's signs to come in fulfillment is the letter I.